My name is Kara Hollinger, and I have been part of the Watershed Community for the past 5 years. So I'm here to talk to you about what is saving me today. So if you were to look back at my life over the past couple years, some would have said it's just fallen apart, it's a complete disaster. She's had it rough. I mean, I've heard it all. But at the end of the day, I'm here to explain to you why spirit and my spiritual connection is what saves me, not just today, but over the past few years, and will continue to serve me every day. So, quick backstory. A few years ago, felt great. I was living this awesome life, traveling the world. I had a business I loved. I was in a relationship with a man that I loved. I had friends and support and, just lived this joyous life, but I was unsettled and I couldn't quite figure out why. And I wanted a family, but there was more. It was just this immense unsettlement. And when I turned 40, I went to this solo trip to Indonesia, and I went kind of on a prayer mission and just wanted to sit still and think and manifest. And little did I know my manifestations were about ready to get real, because the day I got home, I got an email that started to pivot my whole life and felt like an avalanche, but that was just the first tip off. It was from my business partner, and it was super great in a way because it was an awareness that we were not really seeing eye to eye on where we wanted the business to go, from what we were passionate about. And doing the work I was doing and being away for those few weeks to think about all of this, it was like, wait a minute, this was everything I was starting to question, and now here it is. And so I went inward and I prayed, and the answer was so clear. It was like, you have to get out. This is your pivot, and you need to sell it immediately. And who cares? Don't worry about any of the details. Just get out. And I was like, but what? And I couldn't wrap my mind around it. But I kept praying, and it kept being, we're here for you. There is no other answer. Just keep moving. This is part of the process. And so I did. And I sold the business, and I started a new one in a week. And I'm building this business 2 weeks in. I'm not sleeping. You're just hustling. And I found out I'm pregnant. Surprise. And that surprise pregnancy was what I asked for, but it wasn't in the way I asked for it or how I thought it was going to come to me. None of the details were what I wanted. It wasn't the right timing. I wasn't in a settled relationship. This wasn't the now. And so again, back to prayer. Listen, hello, you asked for this, be grateful. This is all working out for you. Trust the process. And so I did, and I just kept my head down. And a few weeks later, I think it was 2 weeks later, somebody knocked on the door, and it was an awareness to a lie that I was in a relationship with somebody that didn't really exist. So my heart was broken, and I couldn't trust my intuition, and I couldn't trust myself. I kept going inward, and I wasn't getting voices, and I wasn't getting visions, and I wasn't feeling anything. I was just completely shattered, and I was scared, and everything felt broken to me, and I didn't have a grasp on the business, and I didn't have a grasp on the pregnancy, and I didn't want to do this alone. And so I prayed and nothing happened. And so I was in a dark place, and my friends and my tribe showed up. Just everyone just kind of saw I was in a bad place. And so they came around. And so fast forward, I guess it was a rocky 7 months of pregnancy. I stayed positive. I didn't want to lose the baby. I had to stay healthy. I couldn't deal with any of the pain. I couldn't let myself feel it. I had to keep charging. A lot of energy went into the business, but it wasn't productive as it could have been because my headspace was so fogged with pain and just despair, I guess, and fear. And then something happened. When I had Seren, it was in September, and, it was not in a good place with her father. And, I had not really seen him, or he wasn't a part of the birth. And so when I had her, it was like she got rushed to NICU, and I was forced to sit with her dad for a week in NICU with all these unsettled things. And within minutes of having her, none of it mattered. Like, absolutely none of it mattered. The only thing that mattered was that I didn't pass this fear and pain onto her, because she was so pure, and I didn't want any of the drama between him and I to ever affect her. And so immediately I prayed and I prayed, and the birth was incredibly spiritual and very deep. And through that, I kept getting voices of let it go. And this is all working out for you. And he was meant to be your dad. She is going to love him. You guys have to exist. So it's up to you how to create that journey. I can honestly say 2 years later, we are in that space. We have a loving family. We're not together, but we will always be together. And there is this intensity to the joy that they bring to the family. And she loves her sister and she loves her dad. And I love seeing that joy. And we have a very unusual setup, and it's very modern, and it's not anyone's seen before. So we've had to get a lot of support, and we work really, really hard every week. And honestly, I feel more grace and ease in the way that we're able to coexist than I was when I was married, years ago. So I feel like things really worked out there, and it wouldn't have worked out if I didn't listen to my spirit, and if I didn't sit with that feeling of it's all falling apart, but it's okay. You've got this. This is in you to succeed. And so now the business is succeeding. We have a coexisting family that is, it's crafted for the way that we need it to be, and it's all positive. My soul hurts still every day. I'm still in the process of healing and growing and learning. I'm having to, use boundaries I've never had. I'm having to have immense self-love and forgiveness to everyone around me that has supported or hurt me or loved me along the way. And all of that is happening because of that connection I have to spirit. And to this day, I am going to continue leaning into that to create the best and highest version of myself. And I am just so grateful I listened, because without those lessons I was learning and the surrender I had to learn through that spiritual connection with myself, I wouldn't have had Seren. I wouldn't have sold a business that I love to grow a business that's working so much better for me and has the flexibility and freedom I was looking for, and has more income and more space and more existence for the life I wanted, and it's aligned with my passions and my vision. I'm really excited for this next chapter, and I'm really excited that I have such a great connection to that voice and to be able to lean into something bigger than me. And it's what's saving me right now. And I ask everybody to take a moment and pause and check within yourself and see what's saving you right now. Thank you.